And just like that, it's time for our weekly roundup of all the things lady just ain't gonna do this week. Number 1, Haitian immigrants, whips, and horses in Texas. So by now, you've likely seen the images out of Del Rio, Texas, with an overwhelming number of Haitian asylum seekers crowded under a bridge near the border. The images are shocking. Rangers on horses unleashing what looks to be whips on people seeking safety. It's hard to unsee. Police on horses with whips chasing Black people is eerily reminiscent of enslavement, and it's intended to be so. That, coupled with the failed immigration policy of the United States, has made this a verifiable disaster. The Biden administration, undoubtedly cowering to the threats they're anticipating in the midterm elections about being soft on immigration, has been sending these refugees back to Haiti on airplanes, the same Haiti that is in political and environmental turmoil. It's a complete and total shit show, and the blood is on the hands of this administration. Now, I told y'all on the pod a few months ago when Vice President Harris advised immigrants, do not come here. It sets the tone for the kinds of atrocities we're seeing right now. Even the U.S. Special Envoy to Haiti, Daniel Foote, resigned this week, citing inhumane policy on behalf of the United States. In a statement he released, he said, I will not be associated with the United States' inhumane, counterproductive decision to deport thousands of Haitian refugees and illegal immigrants to Haiti, a country where American officials are confined to secure compounds because of the danger posed by armed gangs to daily life. Our policy approach to Haiti remains deeply flawed, and my policy recommendations have been ignored and dismissed when not edited to project a narrative different than my own. And this close to midterms, it's likely that immigrants and immigration will continue to be used as pawns on the political chessboard. Now, for those of you looking to help support relief efforts, please go visit Haitian Bridge Alliance at haitianbridge.org. And then get to lighten those phones up for the president and vice president and your damn congresspeople, because this is completely unacceptable. Next thing lady don't like this week is police reform officially off the table. So speaking of shit show, it was announced this week that negotiations have formally ceased on police reform, spurred by a rejection of the U.S. Senate of the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. This bill was passed by the House as per usual. Now, y'all are aware that a bipartisan committee came together to try and come to a compromise to get police reform done this year in the wake of Floyd's murder. Well, they couldn't come to agreements that would have gotten this done. And word out on the street is that it's officially dead and won't be pushed through. Deemed much too risky for Democrats who are trying to hold on for dear life in the upcoming midterm elections. Now, Tim Scott, Republican senator from South Carolina, opposed a ban on chokeholds, the same kind of chokeholds that killed George Floyd. He opposed getting rid of qualified immunity, the doctrines that shield police from being held accountable when they commit crimes in our communities. And he opposed banning no-knock warrants, like the one that killed Breonna Taylor in the middle of the night. Republicans are hell-bent on killing everything that smells like change. And meanwhile, Democrats seem scared of their own shadow, especially when it comes to policing, despite the big, bold talk about it in 2020. 2022 is going to be real rough, y'all, mostly because Democrats haven't shown that they're willing to boldly govern. And with rampant voter suppression spreading like wildfire across the country, midterm elections are looking like a dumpster fire. I'm not at all saying to despair. But what I am saying is get ready to work really the fuck hard next year. And in the meantime, light a fire under the asses of this party while it still has the power we gave them. If Republicans are hell-bent on not fucking governing, make sure Democrats can't sleep until and unless they govern. Now, y'all got me all hyped up on here, so let me just come on and talk about what we do want more of this week, though. So first thing is, okay, girl, I guess, bring on fall. I mean, I don't really mean that because me, myself, I'm really a summer kind of girl, but truth be told, this summer was not as hot, girl, as I'd hoped. So a fall wind down and transition into hibernation, it sounds about right to me. This week, we celebrate the fall equinox, which means the days are just now starting to get shorter and the nights are just now starting to get longer. I'm still not fucking with pumpkin spice anything, but I am looking forward to my favorite holiday, Halloween, which also happens to be my homegirl and hand grenade's birthday. So break out the chunky sweaters and the leggings and the leg warmers, and fuck yeah, we wear leg warmers, don't get it twisted, good books, and hot cocoa. It's about that time, y'all. We moving from Blanco to Reposado, if you catch my drift, and I'm here for it. Other things Lady loves this week is minding the business that pays you. So, lovelies, I thought I would give you an update on where things are for Lady personally, and look, I'm making it. Been purging, reorganizing, making peace with the rate and pace of change. Now, I posted on Facebook recently about codependency and addiction, as there's some loved ones in my life that are dealing with addiction stuff, and I, in particular, am in a lot of questions for myself about how to love someone with an addiction and not get caught up in the collateral damage that addiction brings. Well, look, some folks forgot to mind the business that pays them and made some assumptions that I was talking about Malachi, my ex. Now listen, y'all. Malachi's not who the fuck I was talking about. Malachi's not an addict, but both of us love people with addiction challenges. That includes family, friends, and the like. Now, I'm putting that out there to remind folks that you need to be real careful about mistaking Facebook for friendships. Now, I asked for resources around codependency, but what I did not ask for was for people to get all up in the business that doesn't pay them, which is my life. Now, look, if you need to know who I'm talking about, you need to be in my close circle, and frankly, the Security Council is closed to new members. It has been for quite a while now. But more than that, be careful with your assumptions and operationalizing those assumptions. Now, I don't know why you would spend time playing sleuth, but if that's your tendency, what do you think you gonna do about it? Now, I asked for the support I needed, and that list did not include any of that. So, in any case, remember to mind the business that pays you.